everyone, welcome back to my channel. Ahlan wa sahlan. That's Arabic for you guys don't know what the heck I'm saying welcome. Bienvenido, bienvenido, all that good stuff. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, of course. I don't know how to speak English today, but I'm coming to you guys with a new video because I've been wanting to do this for a minute because of how crazy this experience is. It's not really a story time, it's really just me kind of going through the bullshit that happened while I was living here. I'm not really sure if I can get in trouble or any legal trouble for this, but in case if that's a thing, I have no idea how that works. But I want to talk about this apartment complex slash property management that's in Virginia, and it's kind of a popular property in terms of like VCU students. I'm going to speak about it vaguely. It's basically on the street that happens to have these statues, and it's really tall and noticeable, and it's by these churches. I just described about 8 places, so hopefully people that are from there get what I'm talking about, but if you don't, basically I'm going to go about how crazy these people are dealing with the people that live there, how much money you're paying and they're not even giving you what you're paying for. We'll get into that later, how dirty it is, no matter how clean you are, and just like peeping toms and such. So yes. Okay, so I had to change my shirt because the other one was bothering me. I really don't know how long it is gonna take me to get through this video, and I don't know if I'm gonna have to film this in 2 separate parts. I guess the first thing I'm gonna start with is money. So these people like to play with money, and they don't like to give money back. They don't like to deal with you unless you're there. They're very communicative when you're there and you're living there and you're a tenant and you're on a lease. But I tell you, the day that your lease ends, it is like they just don't know how to operate. It's just crazy. So what I mean by that is basically I'm really going to focus on the money part. So I've lived there 2 different times on, I guess, 2 different leases. So I lived there once when I was a junior at my college, and once right after I graduated from my university. I was kind of like working and doing adult stuff. So it's gonna be me jumping in between those 2 different types of leases, right? So the very first time I lived there, I lived with a person I talked about in another video was Daisy, and my other roommate, I'll call her Rachel. So it was me, Daisy, and Rachel, and we were on this lease because we had to find a place off campus for college. So we ended up living there. But the reason why we took this place because it was a pretty decent walk to campus, and it was very spacious. It had nice hardwood flooring, and it was, again, very spacious, and it had a gas stove, which is really cool for cooking. When I had first signed that lease, which obviously I had to co-sign with my mother, she gave me the money to put down a security deposit, which everybody knows, which was $500. Went to 7-Eleven, got the money order, and gave it to them. The one stick I made, which I didn't know, which even my mom didn't let me know, that you're supposed to sign it and make sure you have a picture or whatever proof that it is yours, because right after I turned it in, they said I never paid a security deposit, and it just all of a sudden $500 just went missing, which is bad because my mom was just not having it and she was livid. So basically I only have a picture of it where it's just the money order. I have the date and I have a picture of it like in my possession, but I didn't have my signature. So for about a week they were trying to charge me late charges, and that it never showed up, and this and that. And then my mom had ended up calling the number, and I mean, not even the next day, all of a sudden it was in the system. So it means that they're basically were just trying to take this money and just use it for wherever they wanted to use it for. After the first time I lived there, when we were moving out, it was about a month. We didn't live with each other after that lease ended. We ended up like moving to different apartments. She called me and was like, hey, have you gotten your security deposit? And I was like, no. And she was like, yeah, Daisy hasn't gotten hers either. So me and Rachel, we ended up going up there, and they're like, yeah, it's something system, blah, blah, blah. They just kept giving us these just anything stupid. It was just like, oh, this person and this. So we'd be literally sitting in there and they'd be calling someone and the phone would just be ringing and ringing. And we're like, well, can you email this person or can we talk to this? And it was basically about a week of this, coming up there, being her with scheduled times when we weren't in class, coming up there and complaining. And it was about 30 to 45 minutes of us standing there in their face like, where's my money? And they're calling, I'm guessing, these out of service numbers, and we just kept coming and coming and coming and coming for like a week or two. Finally, me and her both got these emails that our security deposits were on the way, and then we got it within like a week, which is insane. Let's talk about this recent time, which of July 2020, my lease ended and I ended up having to move to another state. And I think it was about a month, and I was like, yo, like, I was like, maybe I need to call them. So I called them. I was like, hey, it's like a month later. I'm just wondering, I know it's different because it's a whole pandemic going, like, when is it gonna, they're like, yeah, it's gonna take a little bit longer, which I should have known that was bullshit, and I should have like got some family members involved and maybe even a lawyer, because these people were tripping again. So I wasn't able to, like, one of the emails they sent out was like through their system, and I'm guessing that system that they have is also like just complete shit. It doesn't really go to anything. They just have it there to make people feel comfortable or something. But I called multiple times and I was left on hold for 10, 20 minutes, and I hung up and I called again and they said, yeah, we'll call you back. Each time, never got a call back. Sent emails, long, thorough emails, never got a response. And then I sent it to one, Karen, which her name happened to be Karen. I sent one to her and she tried to tell me that there was these BS charges, which amounted to $200. And then she said, oh, but you owe $3. And in my head, I'm like, okay, my security deposit was over $500, right? So if you do the math, even if they decided to hit me with these BS $200 charges, I still would have had $300 left over. So for her to say you owe $3, it didn't make any sense, and I probably should fight that. I just need to find like the proof that my security deposit was this, and then probably take it to someone in my family that's like lawyerish, and maybe they'll give me my money, because it's just ridiculous that they're just able to get away with it. And if I can find it, like a long time ago, me and my roommate, when we were trying to get our security deposit the first time, we found all these Yelp reviews of people that just never got their deposits back. And it's like, if you want to get it back, you just have to fight for no reason. You can be the best tenant, always pay on time, but for some reason, as soon as that lease ends, they're just like, who are you? Another thing that was absolutely crazy, I didn't realize it until the second time I ended up living there in a lease, where my neighbor basically shared some information. It wasn't all of them, majority of them did this. So I remember the very first time I lived there, I would be missing certain items, like I would be missing like underwear or certain socks. And I know that my roommates, they never went in my room. Like, if they went in my room, they told me exactly what they were getting, or it just didn't happen. But of course, it wouldn't be stuff like that missing. Even the second time I lived there, there'd be times that I came home to my room and I know the state, like, you know, when you leave for work or for school or whatever, even if your stuff is messy, you know exactly what is where. And there'd be times I come back and just stuff just seemed a little off. And when my roommate told me what he told me, or not my roommate, but my neighbor slash friend told me about this, it kind of confirmed my suspicion and everything. So before I even go to that part, so I am so sorry, you guys. I had to cut this video because when I was looking at it, it was going to end up being 20 minutes long. So I decided to clip it into 2 separate videos. So look out for that second upload. Obviously, thank you guys so much for your support, for subscribing and watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and check out, or peace out. I don't know. Anyways, bye.
These haters on my body, shake them all.